I just wanted to cover a quick topic and put it on a video, and I'm going to put it on Substack so I can share it to people and stuff. Um, like kind of as an additional part of my there is no government Substack and claim. I get really annoyed when I see channels and people say the X administration. They'll be like the Biden administration, the Obama administration, the Bush administration, Trump administration. And while that's a useful designation for purposes of time, like if you're talking in a historical context, like you could say something about, well, the gold standard stuff happened during the Nixon administration. Okay, it's a great way to date something. But there's another use that I find really annoying, and it's when it's current. You know, I've noticed a lot of channels that are partisan, and they'll be like, the Biden administration did this. And when the activity under discussion is something that both administrations, all administrations have always done, that bothers me because it's providing cover. It's like making it out like this is something that changes party to party, or and I just really don't like that because it implies that there's a difference between the parties, and there isn't. It implies that, oh, well, under Trump it'll be different, or under Biden it'll be different, and I'm like, no. Even if it oscillates, and even if it is different, even if it'll probably oscillate, and over time it'll smooth out into nothing, and you'll just end up with billionaire rule. And that's why I am constantly telling people that voting is bullshit. We don't have a government, and pointing to the Princeton study that showed that who you vote for, who gets elected, doesn't matter. The will of the people is never respected unless it happens to align with the will of the billionaires, which means it's never respected. Statistically speaking, the people have never been in charge. The democracy experiment was never tried. It's not an experiment. The only experiment is the label on the can, you know. And in that sense, it has been very successful. It has convinced people that we had a democracy, and we have, you know, all this power, and our place in history is because we all got here together. And it's like, it's a bunch of shit. We've never been in charge. And the administration thing, you know, being like, oh, the Biden administration, Trump administration, blah blah blah. Yeah, hi. It's the same thing. It's like they're trying to make it out like their team is cool and everything bad is the fault of the other team. And I'm like, that's what's his name? Robert Reiner or something? The little guy that is always talking about basically the evils of wealth inequality, but he always shunts it to a Democrat Republican thing. Like from his perspective, everything bad that rich people do is because Republicans let them do it, and Democrats are constantly fighting rich people. And that's just demonstrably false. And he's only allowed to speak that truth because his prescription for solving it is so damagingly wrong. I mean, it's an exploitative, dangerous lie. And I feel like when people are all like the Biden administration or the Trump administration, that's the same kind of thing. They're taking a nonpartisan class issue and making it partisan so that any type of possible response will fit into that narrow, you know, go vote nonsense LARP that won't accomplish anything. And that's why it's encouraged. People really need to ask themselves why the algorithm promotes their channel, because if the algorithm is promoting you, you're probably helping the billionaires. Because if you're not helping the billionaires and you're famous at the same time, you start seeing other responses. Responses like Julian Assange got, where you get thrown in a room, you know, or you get just stuff outside. Basically, if they're letting you do it, or if they're even helping you do it, like if their machine, their Twitter machine, their YouTube machine, their TikTok machine, whatever, if the machines are letting you do it, helping you do it, promoting your stuff, that's probably a big part of, big piece of evidence that you're not hurting them. because they ban people they don't like, they block people they don't like, they silence people they don't like, up to and including, the infamous back of the head shot suicides. So, now, granted, not all people who have zero audience are being silenced, but I feel like you can say that all people who have an audience are wrong about something in some billionaire helpful way. Like, basically every famous platform channel, they get it wrong in some really mission critical way. And that's why they're allowed to do what they do. And, but that's kind of a tangent. I just wanted to talk about the X administration. That's what I'm going to title this and title the post on Substack, because it just provides cover. I suck at articulating that. I'm going to feed it this transcript of this to the AI and see if it can help me, more pithily state it, summarize it effectively, because I see it all the time. They'll be like, oh, like I'm watching, what triggered this is I'm watching a video about the shit in Hawaii, and somebody says, oh, the Biden administration. I was like, man, that's not Biden. Another thing about it that sucks is when you say the Biden administration did something, what you're saying is that we have a government, and we don't. That guy is not making decisions. And they kind of acknowledge that when they say the Biden administration. They're like implying that it's not Biden doing it. It's some functionaries and stuff under him. But ultimately it implies that it's a derivative order from him, and it's which of course implies that the government is doing a thing and making decisions, and they're not. It's a television show complete with green screens, scripts, and actors. It's completely a farce. It's there to make you vote instead of strike. That's the main thing, is to keep you going to work. I mean, they want you to go to work in a snowstorm. They want you to go to work. I swear, if there's a civil war in America, employers will be like, it's your duty to go to work because we have to fight the rebels. They will want you to elbow crawl under barbed wire and active gunfire to get to your station to make money for Jeff Bezos or whoever your 1 in 5 billionaire is that owns your thing, the building that you go work in. And man, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the cover. I want everybody to wake up and realize that you're not going to vote your way out of this. You're going to have to quit your job. You're going to have to take a pay cut for a while. You're going to have to sleep in your car. You're going to have to do this stuff that actively makes the system try to choke you out, to try to starve you of all your resources. I can say that because I'm poor and I already have any resources. I'm a broke ass. I can't work. I live on a food card and Medicaid, and family keeping me off the street. That's literally it. So I can say that. But you guys that have jobs, if you expect stuff to change, you're going to have to quit your fucking job. You're not going to be able to keep the system happy enough with you to buy you a new car every 3 years or whatever, and change things. If you think you're going to fix it by voting, you're not. And blaming stuff on, Trump or Biden or whatever is really, really missing the point. And that's just all I wanted to say.